G'day everyone, welcome to the Martial Arts Business Success. We're at episode number 88.
Woo, 88.
Jeepers. So Phil, what have we got today, mate? We've got some pretty great topics that we love to discuss and share with you guys.
Of course.
What's the big one?
Before we get started, I just want to make sure that we're all aware of some of the things that we support and, the further on education that we can provide, the viewers, the listeners out there in the internet land is, what we try to do with TIMA is to give people just like you great sound advice, some tips, tools and strategies and techniques on how you can build your business. Now, we do that absolutely free through podcasts and videos if you're following us, but we also have the next level education as well. We have a free course on our website. We also have a paid course as well. And something that we've just started doing, which has been really, really good for our members, is a TIMA mastermind. So for those who are part of that sort of paid membership, it's $99 a month, and you get humongous resources of videos and education to run your business, but also weekly mastermind calls, live Q&As with us on a week-to-week basis, which we've been getting the feedback from everyone that's absolutely valuable. So that's something that we're doing. So if you are interested in taking us up on that offer, we do have sort of like an opportunity for you to try it out. 5 days for $5. It's sort of that pull the curtain behind and check out what's underneath, But if you want to check it out, go there. Go to our website, tima.com.au. I'll say that again, tima.com.au. Go check it out. Try 5 for 5, and the education is there for you. But today, we're specifically going to drill down on social events, social nights, social days. Things that are taking our students from the actual training floor and into a social environment. It has its pros and it has its cons. So what should you do? Should you do them? What are they? Are you doing them? We're going to try and give you everything that we've learned about social events and, the good, the bad and the ugly. Graham?
Look, before we dive, deep into that topic, we've got to explain to you guys who are watching or listening why and how and when we're strategic in running them. For example, we just ran a campaign which is an adult one, and it was about bring your friend down to training, so 2 weeks of training. And what we like to do is have these social events at the end of that 2-week period. And the reason for that is, for those who bring their mates down to that class, they're getting a chance to meet some new friends in the dojo and the school. They're developing that relationship. And then if you have this social event, it's another chance for them to build those bonds. So they're more likely to stick around and be a part of your school. Because really that's the idea. If they get a good vibe from the school, they develop some good friendships, well, the rest is easy. Yeah, so
absolutely
strategic in that sort of planning and the time. So we just recently ran one. It was a great night, and it's always exciting for students to enjoy themselves, see the instructors in clean clothes rather than their uniforms and whatnot. But I certainly know that we have great results in that. The focus for our staff and our team is very much on developing and building relationships.
Excellent. So social nights, let's just go to the adults. So Some of the good things that we do with social events or nights as well, we've gone out to the pubs and do a social environment there. You can do your go-karting, you can do paintballing, you can do the lawn bowls, barefoot bowls, the list depending where you are. Obviously listening, if you're in a place where there's really bad weather and it's snowing, your social events are going to be different. But there's so many things you can do, but the benefit of it is, I don't know if you've ever heard this quote, those who kick together stick together. Well, you take it to the next level if you can build a group of people who sort of socialize with each other as well. It just takes it that next level of camaraderie. And I know when I was a student, it was really fantastic to hang out with other students who were people who could then go, I've been there, I've done that, and they can help preempt and show you the path that they've been traveling as well. And then you're like, we're rubbing shoulders with black belts and white belts and all that sort of thing. It's a different level of communication and different level of rapport with your students.
Yeah. Look, I would really encourage you guys to make sure that you've got an agenda for your social night. And what I mean by that is, simply just going to the pub and having some drinks together is not necessarily a structured social night. What do you want to try and accomplish and get out of it?
Yeah.
For us with a larger sort of student base, it's important for us to make sure that we're doing these events to, build that relationship, allow people to meet and greet, but at the same token too, that doesn't mean an excuse to get trashed and kind of speak bad about people, or again just have a really bad showing. There's nothing worse than you being a good role model at the dojo and then just being an absolute clown when you're out on a social night. So you really do need to make sure that when you run these, there's still that professional standard that you're expecting from yourselves. Still enjoy yourself, but at the end of the day, you are still working, dare I say it, to make sure that you can't just let let your manners go and leave them at the door. You still got to make sure your P's and Q's and whatnot are in a line as well.
Definitely got to be some rules and regulations for your staff and even for yourself. You know, you're still seen as that authority. You're still seen as that person who's giving them the education. And the problem is if you're preaching one thing on the dojo floor and doing something completely different off the floor, well, then there's some incongruencies there, and people are going to go, actually, you know, you're saying that we should be doing this and living a healthy lifestyle and looking after ourselves, and then you're going and doing this. Well, that's contradictory, and people are going to leave just as fast as, you know, faster than they're coming, and that's not a good thing. When it comes to an agenda as well, it's like there's got to be a reason for the social event, and we've always talked about that sort of, is it a retention-based thing or is it a student drive? And so we've done one, this recent one was more of a student drive because it was at the end of a campaign, and it was a way to get those friends come in and socialise with your students and instructors. But we'll also do those ones where it's just strictly students, and you know the paintball days and go-kart days where it's really a lot of fun. It's a chance for, like I said, the students to call you by your first name rather than by Shihan or whatever it may be. It's just at another level of rapport, and if you can just really scrape that back to, you know, there's the dojo version of you and there's the real life version. Now you want to keep those two hats and you want to keep them separate, but you also want to blend the two a little bit as well. And if you can do that, that's how you're going to build a tribe of students who will follow you and stay with you forever.
Look, I remember back very clearly and fond memories of some of the social events that we had coming up through the ranks, and it's when I ask our instructors who have been with us for, you know, decades plus, we asked them what got you there, and it was definitely the friendships they developed as they've gone along. Because unfortunately, I think we all know about it, students will come and go. But if you can have that friendship last, it may be that one reason why they stay that little bit longer. So you're definitely developing those long-term relationships, which at the end of the day keeps the students a lot longer in training as well too, which is good.
Cool. Next thing I sort of want to talk about is, you know, when should you do them, how should you do them, and have that structure. Because if you're just doing it willy-nilly, like, oh, what are we going to do? Oh, let's do a social event. And, you know, it's okay, but it's only going to get you so far. So what we try to do within our schools and our businesses is go, you know, we have really 3 age demographics that we focus on. One is the younger kids, you know, I say are probably up to the ages of 9 to 10. Maybe a little bit older, and then you have the sort of teenagers that they're too cool for school. They're not going to go hang out with the little kids, but they're not quite adults, so you need to focus on them. And then you have the adult ones as well. So we really have 3. So if we break that down and go, well, every 3 months we're rotating it through. So let's say January we did the little kids, February we did the teenager type group, and then the next month we did the adults, and then that rotates. So there's not a social event every month, because if you have it too regularly, you know, it just gets boring, and it's hard for your instructors. But then obviously if you just rotate that through, you're getting an opportunity for your instructors and your students to take that to the next level.
So Phil, we talked a little bit about you know, the adults one. What are some of the things that we've done with the kids in the past? And I guess for you guys, everyone's going to have some different suggestions on what they can do and whatnot. But what have we done in the past that we had some great success over, especially with trying to get those good leads of good I guess numbers in the teens one or the little kids one? Obviously the adults one we spoke a little bit about. What have we done in the past, mate?
So let's go to the teens, I guess, the group that's the hardest one to crack. Most schools are the same. That's that teen group. Like I said, they're too cool for school. You know, we've tried to do all the movie nights. Again, you have to, if you've got all the kids in there, you've got to be selective of the movie. So yeah, you can have a movie, but you want to really put it out to them and see what movie is cool to them. So again, we go back to that sales, cracking the sales code, find out what they want, go get it, give it to them. Don't give them what you want. Like, we're going to put Kung Fu Panda on and ask the 16-year-old to come when it's not really their vibe, you know what I mean? So find out what is the hot buttons of this age group. And what we found that works really, really well is more of just a social night. And a social night would be, we might have a TV screen over there playing something, but over there we've got 3 gaming stations. Over there we've got some music going on, Guitar Hero, you know, all the stuff. So they get a choice. They can just hang out and just socialise and chat, which most of them do. But when that gets boring or they want to move on, because the attention span of a teen is like that, they can go over and play some Guitar Hero, Call of Duty, watch a movie, whatever it may be. Look,
we've had some great success with the teens, and that's something that we've tested and measured over the years. You know, Do we charge for these, Phil? What do we do for the guys who are listening in to be able to implement and run this sort of stuff?
Yeah, absolutely not. I think, at the end of the day, most of these social things are retention-based stuff for us. They're a way that we can add value. It's a way that we can have our students just be a part of the club. Take that next level of rapport and build that tribe, because at the end of the day, what we really want is our group of students to talk about us. And we want them to talk about us in a positive way. Like, it's so cool to be a member there, and by doing that, then they're going to bring their friends down, they're going to stay even longer. And our journey, I guess, our goal is to have someone training in martial arts for life. And not just stop and start. And if we can create that network and that bond, then we're going to have a greater chance of success.
Guys, some of the stuff that we've done, we've definitely done our, because of our climate over here in WA and Perth, a lot of stuff that revolves around the beach training, social days in that regard. We've had, at the start of this year, we had the Weymouth Splash, so, a massive big, fun day where we had kids inside and outside this particular pool place, water fights, all the rest of it. So that's kind of cool in that regards, especially for this client, and it's fairly low cost on being able to do this sort of stuff. You mentioned before for some of the teens and even probably more so the adults, the paintballing and whatnot. Again, you've got social events that are simply just a gathering at a restaurant or a pub or something like that. So that's quite an easy one. Quiz nights at your school. Okay, so that's one that you can do that has a particular reason for that. So that's again a little bit more adults focused. Bring a plate, bring a mate ones. They're always a great one. Really low cost to run.
Us Aussies, we have a slang for everything. So
catchphrases. But the whole idea was, you run it like a birthday party. You're just a party, an hour and a half on a weekend, and the kids who come along just bring a plate. Now, it's an easy one to share. If anyone's got food restrictions, they just bring their own stuff. You're not allergic to nuts. Obviously you're well aware of that. But generally, the whole idea was not to make it too difficult, because if you can have these fun events where people are just having a good time, as we said before, they're a lot more likely to stick around and have some fun.
Cool. All right, guys, well, that's a wrap. Look, if we haven't covered, or you want to know some more information about what we do with social events, or you have anything that you'd like to add value in, please remember, this is for you. So like, share, comment wherever you're watching this video, or if you're listening to the audio, do your part, give us some feedback. If you have some questions for us that we can add into the show, please send that through too. And I just want to do a quick little sort of final shout out to our crew Hyper. So if you're interested in any sort of upgrade programs, Black Belt Club programs, Bully Buster stuff, they have. If you haven't heard of Hyper, go check them out. We've partnered with them. We've been with them for many, many years. So we've got a relationship where we get to give you $100 off each month, part of their membership there. So all you need to do is go to the web link that will be in the page somewhere and hit TIMA, and that will get you a discount promo code. Okay, guys? Thank you very much, champs. We'll see you guys on the flip side, and have a fantastic week.
Thank you, sir.
Innovating the martial arts industry.